So next up, we've got Gurpreet joining us. She is the head of paid media operations. So she specializes more on the PPC side of things. She did start off as a PPC account manager, and she worked her way up to finally head up our PPC team. She's one of the longest standing members as well here at Anicca. So she has a lot of information inside her brain about PPC. And today she's going to talk to us and she's going to introduce us to Google Ads, but also help us to understand the campaign type. So thank you so much, Gurpreet, and I'll hand over to you.
Thanks, Jess. So that was a great introduction, thank you. So my talk today is on Google Ads and understanding the different campaign types. One of the first things I wanted to mention is why I've actually chosen this title, and that's because when we think of Google Ads, we usually think of the search campaigns that can be run. But there are lots of other campaigns that you can do within Google Ads as well that sometimes when it comes to introductions don't get mentioned and might get a little bit overlooked. So what I really wanted to do was summarize the different campaign types so you can have an informed decision of what may or may not be useful for you. So jumping straight in, I'll keep this quick because Jess did a great job. So about me, I'm head of paid media here at Anicca. I couldn't do an about me slide without my kids, so I've got 2 twin girls who are 7 and then my littlest is 2 years old. When we were able to, did enjoy socializing with friends and family, so one day that will happen again, but as of now it's Netflix. Any recommendations, feel free to leave those in the chat. Okay, so what we're going to cover today, so the campaigns that I want to briefly take you over are search campaigns, shopping campaigns. There is a separate seminar on this later, so we will just touch on shopping campaigns, display campaigns, and also YouTube campaigns. Okay, so first, something that just to bear in mind as we're going through the different campaign types is the general process of how these are implemented into our account are as follows. So the first thing you need to do is create yourself an account. So you do need a Google Ads account. It's free to set up, but all these campaigns do sit within Google Ads. The next thing you want to do is create your campaign, so whichever one you go for. But what's important to know is that your budget, your bidding, your targeting, your scheduling, it's all set at the campaign level. And regardless of which campaign I go into, you do still have control over these elements. Next, your ad is delivered, whichever ad that may be. And then, fingers crossed, a conversion or awareness is generated. So everything is trackable that I'm about to cover. So Ed mentioned a bit of it in his session just now within analytics, but also within the platform of Google Ads, you can track your conversions, and there are elements that you can use to track what awareness was generated. And then after that, all campaigns will go through this element of optimization. So that's when you try and improve and make things better, test things and so on. So regardless of which campaign it is that we're speaking about, this generally tends to be the process of what happens. Okay, so the first one that we're going to go into are search campaigns. So this is what Google Ads is known for, I would say. So that is when somebody does a keyword search on the Google search engine, and then they are returned with a text ad. So in this example here, you can see you have your main ad showing along with what we call site links underneath. So what are search campaigns? So as an advertiser, you bid on selected keywords. So you choose which keywords you want to go for, and these will then trigger your ads to show on the Google search results page. What will then happen is a text-based ad will show, and then these will also show with what we call ad extensions underneath. So in this example, I'm pointing out the site links. So these are additional links that appear underneath your ad copy, but you can also have things such as call extensions. So that'll be your telephone number. You can have call outs, you can have reviews. So there's there's a number of other elements that you can see underneath your search ad. You will know if you're seeing a search ad or an organic ad because the search ads will always have ad written next to them. So in this example, you can see it's really small at the beginning. Sometimes it's a symbol, sometimes it's in color, but recently, generally, it's just been small text that says ad. And with these ads, you only pay when a user clicks on your ad. So even to create a Google Ads campaign, account is free. At this point in time, you will only get charged if somebody actually clicks on your ad. So how do search campaigns work? So just going back to the original slide at the beginning of the presentation, this one's just in a little bit more detail for you. So first thing you want to do is set up your account and set up your conversion tracking. Conversion tracking, very important because you want to know whether or not the campaign is generating what you want it to do. You then will create your campaign. So you will carry out keyword research and select which campaigns are important, which keywords are important for you. And you will also create your ads and your ad extensions. So what text you want to appear when somebody searches on your keywords and it appears on Google. You then select your bid and all your bidding strategies. So you tell Google, okay, how much am I willing to pay for a click? But also, how do I want to pay? Do I want to do it manually? Do I want to do it automated? So you can decide what you want that to be. Your ad is then delivered. So users see your ads based on the targeting and the bid that you've set up. And then hopefully the aim is that they click through onto your website and they go to your landing page. And then conversion hopefully should happen. So you, at the start of creating your campaign, said what you wanted your conversion point to be, and then this can be tracked. And then, as I mentioned earlier, it's then the optimization. So the performance data can be examined so you can see, okay, is this doing what I needed it to do, and what tweaks and refinements do I need to make? So the main elements when it comes to a search campaign are your keywords. So the keywords that you bid on, that you want your ads to show to, your ads, so the actual text ads that appear on the search engines, and then very important are the landing pages of your website. So when a user searches on a keyword, sees your ad, or what landing page they click through to, and hopefully will then go on to convert. Now, the benefits of search campaigns are really great, and it's usually why it's the first go-to campaign type within Google Ads. So they are a great way to fill gaps. So if you need more sales, more revenue, if you need to get more leads to the business, then Google search campaigns are a great way of doing that. The visibility that you get from them, if done right with the right budget and bidding techniques, you can get yourself on the first page of Google very quickly and get yourself visible to your users. And it's also a great way to get access to market, to your market. So when you think of search engines, a user is already searching on something. They already know that there's something that they need or something that they want. So if you can get in front of them at those points, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant way to get access to your relevant market. And also, there are really clever device preference techniques that you can use. So you don't have to go and have your ads shown on all devices. You can pick and choose. You can push on certain devices and pull back on others, but you do have full control of those as well. Okay, so I'm going to jump on to shopping campaigns. So here is an example of what you would see from a shopping ad. So somebody would do a search on Google and they would then see what we can see here with the images, with a title and the cost listed beneath them. Now you usually see these at the top of the page of Google, or sometimes you do see them down the right hand side. So Google shopping ads allow you to deliver product ads in response to a Google search. So what happens is you supply Google with a product feed. So this product feed contains all the information in relation to that product. So things such as the title, the price, the image, you can do size, you can do color. There's a lot of attributes that you can add. There are certain ones that are required, and there are others that are optional, but from experience, the more you add in, the better. What happens is Google then refers to this feed to determine your product's relevance to a user's search. So where this differs from the search campaign, and what's really interesting, and a lot of advertisers at the start don't actually realize this, is you do not set which keywords will trigger your ads to show. So what actually happens is Google will go away and they will look at what a user has searched on, they will look at the information that has been provided in the product feed, and they will determine which ads rank high enough to appear. So the better your product feed can be, then the more likely it is that your ad is going to be served. So really important to have a quality, well-maintained product feed. There are certain products that are prohibited or restricted. So not every single item or product can appear within the shopping ads, and one of the main ones that is quite heavily restricted is pharmaceuticals. Your feed that we spoke about is uploaded into something called a Google Merchant Center. And this Google Merchant Center is then linked to your Google Ads account. So it is from your Google Ads account that you're then able to create a campaign to implement your bid strategy and so on. So because the two talk to each other, you can take that information and push it out onto Google Ads. And similar to search campaigns, you pay only when a user actually clicks on the ad. So again, to have the impression, to have the ad served is free. When you as an advertiser will be charged is when a user actually goes ahead and clicks on your ad. Now, I mentioned it earlier, but there is actually a session, an introductory session on shopping ads later on. So my colleague Dan will be doing that at 2 p.m. So this obviously just touched on it, but if you are interested in knowing a bit more about that, then definitely recommend attending that session later on. The next campaign that I wanted to look at was display campaigns. Okay, so display campaigns allow you to show ads on the Google Display Network. So the Google Display Network is a pool of websites, videos, and apps that partner with Google to serve ads, and this is known as display advertising. So you've probably seen it yourself when you're browsing different sites and so on, and you'll have ads appearing for you on those sites. So that is known as display advertising. And as an advertiser, you can set that up within Google Ads and do those same ads for yourself. So they can help you reach new customers while they're browsing other websites. You can find the right audience at the right time using the available targeting and scheduling options. And I'm going to go into the targeting side of things in a few slides. But there's some really clever things that you can do when it comes to targeting your audience and who you want to get to. As an advertiser, you'll provide Google with your assets and your targeting criteria, and then they will go off and they will serve your ads into their network. Now, I've put here there are thousands of sites, but there's actually millions of sites that have opted to be within the display network, and you get ranges of different sites. So you can get some real small homemade sites, and you can get some massive national and worldwide sites. So it's definitely worth considering to help raise brand awareness. You can find new customers and you can engage back with existing customers. And in terms of how you pay, so you can choose to pay for the clicks that you receive, so on a cost per click basis, or you can choose to pay for every 1,000 impressions that you receive. So as an advertiser and managing the campaigns within Google Ads yourself, that is an option that you have, and you can decide and outweigh which one you would rather use. So the different ad types that you can have. So where search ads are very text focused, when it comes to display, there are a number of different ones that you can have. So you can have image ads. So these usually combine graphics and text together, and they can be static or animated. You then do have text ads as well. So similar to what you would have for your search campaigns, you can have them in your display campaigns as well. You can have rich media types, so that's where there's some kind of interaction that will happen. Responsive ads, also known to some as native ads. These are really good. So these are where you provide Google with your assets, and Google will then go away and create different combinations of the ad to make them look part of and relevant to the website that a user is on. And that's where native ads really comes from. So they blend in with the site that a user is looking at. And then you can also have video ads. So YouTube obviously is the most popular, but there are video ads that can be placed across the web as well. Now with Display Network, when it comes to the different ad types, we'd probably recommend have as many different ad types as you can. And the reason for that is some websites may only accept image ads, some may only accept responsive ads. So if you've got all of them within your pool of ad types, then you can help get yourself the most exposure possible. Now, in terms of the targeting, so the targeting for the Display Network is very clever. And you've got to think of it in two different ways. So think of it as the who and the where. So audience is who do you want to get in front of, what type of person, what are they like? So literally the actual users that you want to get in front of, so the who. You then have the contextual side of things. So that's more about, well, where is the user actually looking? What kind of sites are they on? And what is the website about? So it's more the where side of things. So if we look at the audiences, so here are some examples of the who you can target. So you've got different demographics. So you can target by age, gender, parental status and income if that information is known. So that's really a good one if you know that your product or service may be for certain ages or genders. I'm just going to jump across to remarketing at the bottom of the page. That one's really clever one, and you may have heard of this. So it's when basically you remarket to users who have been on your site before or they are already known to you. So you're remarketing and trying to get users back as they browse around other websites. Now, having a remarketing campaign also, audience, also means that you can target by something that we call a similar audience. So these are audiences who are similar to those who are within your remarketing list. So Google will take a look at that remarketing list and understand who those users are and what they do, and they will then go off and look for users who have the same online browsing behavior, and therefore they hope would be similar to the type of users that are out for you. So it's a great way of getting additional users to see your ad. You also have what we call in-market audience. So these are users who are actively shopping or searching. So again, Google is able to see these elements of a user, and you can actively go out and target those types of users. And affinity audiences. So this is a really clever one because it's people who have shown an active interest in your product or service. And again, Google will know this by their internet behavior and what they have been doing and what they have been looking at. So what you can say to Google with all of these types of audiences is, okay, these are the type that I want to go for. And you don't have to go for just one audience type. You can go for a mixture, and you can overlay several different audiences with each other. Now, in terms of the where, so the contextual side of things, so this is targeting, matching the content of a website to your product or service. So you can do things such as keywords. So you can select keywords that you want to target. What Google will then do is go away and look at these sites and match up their content to the keywords that you have added in. You can also target sites by topics, what topic that site falls under. So you can say, okay, if a site is related to this specific topic, it's related to my product or service, so I would like to have my ads shown on that site. And you can also go for specific placements. So if there are specific sites that you're aware of that you think would be great for your ad to appear, that the users on those sites are really relevant to what it is you have to offer, then as long as that site is part of the Google Ads display network and can have ads showing, then you can select for those to show on those placements as well. The interesting thing that you can do is you can mix and match. So you can say, okay, I want my site, my ad to show on this particular site which matches content with certain keywords, but I'd also like the audience to be a certain gender or a certain age. So you can mix the who and the where together to really target specific users. Okay, so benefits of display campaigns. So they're a great way to build brand awareness. So you can get yourself in front of people when they're not necessarily searching for you, but you know they are the right type of user and the right type of prospect that you're after. They can also help influence consideration. So if you also think back to remarketing, where you're trying to get back in front of users who have already been to your site. So it's a great way of helping to influence whether or not you are an option for them. And it can also drive action as well. So if you put your message in front of potential customers at the right place and at the right time, we have seen that it can drive some great actions as well. Okay, so YouTube video campaigns. So YouTube ads are, although they are shown on YouTube, they're actually set up and managed within the Google Ads platform. Now, they're called a number of different things depending on who you speak to. So YouTube ads are generally referred to as TrueView ads. In Google Ads, when you're creating them, they're actually called video campaigns, but they're essentially the same thing. People call them different things, but they are ads that serve on YouTube. And the way that works is your Google Ads account and your YouTube accounts need to be linked in order to create those video campaigns. So you do need to ensure that they have that connection. And the bidding mechanism for this one is slightly different. So you can have it on a cost per view basis or a CPM, so a cost per 1,000 impression basis. When it comes to cost per view, a view is counted if a user watches more than 30 seconds of the ad. Or if the ad is shorter than 30 seconds, then it will be the duration of the ad if shorter than 30 seconds. Or if they interact with the video, so whichever one comes first. So in terms of the different ad types that are available, for those of you who use YouTube, browse around on YouTube, you probably would have seen most of these ad formats because they are everywhere. So in-stream ads, so they are skippable ads. So they usually play before, during, and towards the end of videos. And usually the first 5 seconds are on a countdown, and then a user is given the option to skip the ad. Now, what's great with these ones is, as I mentioned earlier, you're only charged after 30 seconds or the duration of the ad if it's shorter than 30 seconds. So that's a great way to get your ad out there in front of the audience that you're looking for. So it says it in the name, in-stream ads, skippable ads. So it's where the user is given the option to be able to skip the ad. And then you've got discovery ads. So people do more than watch a single video on YouTube. They search for their next video or decide what to watch from a related video. So, YouTube, I think, it along with Google is one of the biggest search engines. So when it comes to discovery ads, the examples highlighted here. So that's where there's a thumbnail image and some text appearing, and they appear on the search results page of YouTube. And they can also appear on the watch page below or to the side of the video that you're watching as well. And basically, these are a great way, again, of getting your ad out there. You will only pay for the click if a user decides to click on the ad. So as it says here, the static impression is free. You're not charged to have your ad shown. It's only if a user goes ahead and clicks on the ad. You then have bumper ads. So these are the ones that are non-skippable. So they tend to be quite short, about 6 seconds. And these will play. And the way that these are charged for, obviously it can't be done on the duration because of the format, the way the bumper ads are, the user doesn't have the option to skip. So the full video will play. So you pay based on impressions. So it's on a CPM basis. So for every 1,000 times that the ad is shown, you will have set what you would like to pay. So your bid essentially. So this is a great way of getting awareness out there. The fact that it's non-skippable. If you keep it short and compact and to the point, again, this can be a great way of getting brand awareness out there. And TrueView for shopping. So this is quite a clever one. So TrueView for shopping campaigns make video ads interactive by connecting viewers directly to your products. So in this example, in the image here, you can see that products are being overlaid on the video. So in this example, it is watches. So within the video could be talking about the benefits of a watch. It could even just have somebody talking about it to a friend, whatever it may be. But the fact is that you can then overlay these shopping cards onto the video. So the user can then click on those cards and they will get taken to the website with the page of that product and then hopefully go ahead and purchase. Now, the way this works, if you think back to what I mentioned about the shopping campaigns where they needed a data feed, it's the same data feed that you would use to connect the products up to show on the YouTube ads campaign. And you can filter down, you can say which products you want to show, and you can really tailor the ad so it can really resonate with a user and hopefully get them to click and go ahead and purchase. Now, in terms of the targeting, it's very similar to what I mentioned with the display network. So it is focused around the audience, so the who you want to target, and the contextual side of things, so where you want to get your ads shown. So with the audience, again, you can have your demographic groups, ages, genders. You can do it by interest of the users, so affinity audiences, custom affinity audiences, so you can make your own type of audience based on who you know they are. You can do it by life events. So, you know, if somebody's looking to get married, or there's lots of different life events that you can include. And you can also include in-market audiences. So those users who are in market for what it is that you have to offer. And you can also do remarketing as well. So you can remarket to past users from your website. And in terms of where you want to target, so you can do this by placements. So you can say if there are any particular channels or videos that you would like to target, you can do that. You can also do it by topics within YouTube. When users are browsing, you can get yourself to show 4 different topics. And keywords as well. So for the discovery ads, similar to a search engine, when somebody searches on a keyword within YouTube, you can say if you would like your discovery ad to show. And again, the benefits of YouTube's very similar to display. So it's a great way of building awareness, influencing consideration, and also driving action. So think about shopping campaigns. You can actually get somebody there and then, if they're interested, to click on a card, go through to your website and purchase. So although they are more top of the funnel activity, we have seen them drive really great actions as well. Okay, so what to take away from this? So this was a very quick snapshot of some of the campaigns that you can do in Google Ads. In a more in-depth session, I could probably take you into more about each of them in terms of if you wanted to use automation or not. So all of them can really be expanded on. But I guess the summary is based on what your end objective is, whether it be sales, leads, website traffic, brand awareness or consideration, whatever it may be. There are different campaign types that can help you with that objective. So display and video tends to sit across all of them, but I would probably say they are best known for their brand awareness side of things. And search and shopping are brilliant when it comes to driving leads and sales and getting that website traffic. So there's just a summary snapshot here for you, so you know which campaigns to consider based on what it is you're looking to achieve. So thank you. I hope you found that useful. Jess should hopefully be joining us anytime now to pass on to the next speaker. As she mentioned, should you have any questions, if you just put it out on the Ask Anicca hashtag, then I'll take a look and I'll check the chat as well and see if there's been any questions. Thank you.